Clement Masombo on standby to talk to us about the summit that is expected to take place in Nyeri County, bringing together pastoralists so that they can talk about the challenges they are facing. Clement Masombo, kindly bring us up to date.
Well, good morning, Brenda. Indeed, I'm coming to you live from here in Nanyuki in Laikipia County. And what is happening here today is that there is that second community land summit that is convened here by various stakeholders just to address issues that to do with the community land. And it has brought together stakeholders from various communities across East Africa. And this morning I will be speaking to one of the community members, Mr. Kausa, to just give us a preview of what this summit is all about and what are some of the issues that them as community, as the pastoralist communities feel that need to be addressed. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Kausa. Why is this summit so important to the pastoralist communities?
It is very important because, we have a lot of challenges, facing us, at the moment. You have had, there's a conflict nearly in every corner where these, pastoralist, groups are. That is, issue to do with, grazing, to sort of a limited, resource, land issue. The overlapping of territories. So we do have a lot of those challenges, and the drought also make things to be worse.
And through this summit, how are you maybe approaching the issues? How are you coming up with plans to address issues that are affecting pastoralist communities?
Well, this summit came the right time, which I think it will help us because it's bringing us all together, despite that we fight there in the field, but here we are in the same room. And I think this is one of the steps that we begin our negotiation and we solve problems among themselves. So I believe that once we are here, we don't need also somebody between. That is, we can talk direct. People who are always fighting, like the Samburus, we have Turkanas here. We one to one, and then we can deal our issues. We can also do with the the Borans. We can do also with our friends the Somalis in Isiolo, who are just neighbors. So it's I will say it's a very good platform for us.
And from where you sit as a stakeholder, where do you think there has been a challenge in terms of addressing the issues that you face? Because I understand these are the issues that have been recurring year after year. Where do you think there has been challenge?
Well, there have been challenges because we have never been sort of sitting in the same table, and if we are, there's always somebody in between, and obviously the people themselves who are from those areas, they know what are the critical issues, not just in those boardroom meetings. We are all here, so and we are across the board. That is the entire different counties. That is, which are some of our neighbors also like the ones from Tanzania. I think this is also a good platform. We can also sort of share ideas. What are the challenges also they are also going through, and how do they deal with them? So this is, I don't think there's any other platform better than this.
And lastly, given that this is the second summit, you had first one last year, do you think there has been any progress from the resolutions that you had last year?
In some areas, yes, there is some sort of progress, because if you find that from 2016, 2010, when the new constitution, there's this transitional from group ranches to the community land management committees, and a lot of communities have now transited. Going through to the process, despite that there are all sort of challenges, and I will say those are the progress, because apart from also fighting now sort of for all these communities to transit to the community lands, there's also what we call the trust lands, which have never been registered. But with these, platforms, it's just bringing us all together because we are all sort of, going through challenges. Some are already exceeded, and we learn for those ones who have already, took a step ahead of us.
All right, thank you so much. Of course, Brenda, one of the thorny issues that has been affecting the pastoralist communities in matters to do with land is land ownership. And given that this is the second summit and it is a 5-day summit, we are sure that we are hoping that maybe by the end of it all, they will have come up with the resolutions on how they will be solving and dealing with some of these issues that are affecting them. Over to you, Brenda.
All right, thank you so much for that, Clement Masombo. So we cross over to Nakuru County and talk about the expected national examinations, KCPE and KCSE, that is expected to kick off. Dalmas, if you can hear me.